How are we doing? We are live. It's a Friday night. And what better things have you got to do than sit here and listen to me? It's not like we're going out anywhere, is it? We're all stuck at home. Second week in isolation, in lockdown. What's that now? 15th day for myself. And yeah, still a long way to go yet, especially if you're listening to what some of the reports are saying. And that we're going to be locked down until June and social distancing until at least October. Yeah, great crack, but it has to be done. There's bigger things going on in the world and more important things, and people are dying. So we do have to, do what we're told, basically. So yeah, the title says it all. And it's about the Premier League because, of course, they had their meeting today. And the Premier League has been suspended indefinitely. Of course, this doesn't mean that the league is over. It's not null and void or anything like that. So Liverpool fans, don't panic yet. But it does mean that they don't have an end in sight. And I think it was pretty inevitable that this was going to happen. I think that, the initial first date when football stopped at the start of April was always going to be, never happen. And then they moved it to the end of April. And already with a month until the end of April, they've said that's not going to happen. So they've had to cancel it indefinitely. I suppose the cutoff point is June the 30th, because that's what UEFA were talking about. They were saying about June the 30th and everything else. And that's the kind of date that they want to get everything done and dusted by. But I honestly cannot see the season being completed even by June the 30th, to be quite honest with you. It's, I'm just taking about UK, for example, that we've not even reached our peak. We're nowhere near the peak, nowhere near it, absolutely nowhere near. And there's still over 500 deaths the other day, a couple of days ago there was. And we're kind of on that path of Italy. And I just don't think it's morally right that we should be playing any form of football whilst people are dying in the world. It's a worldwide pandemic. It's not just isolated to one area. So I don't think that we can carry on playing football whilst that happens. Another thing that I was speaking about is that every Premier League game, every Championship game, League One, whatever leagues they want to try and play, if you want to try and play them behind closed doors, then you need 6 to 8 paramedics at every single game because of broken legs, head injuries, that kind of stuff, an ambulance, all that stuff that has to happen, even if it's behind closed doors. So if you have 10 Premier League games, for example, over the course of the weekend, and you have 8 paramedics at each game, you've got how many? Go on, 80. Yeah. So you're saying that they're going to take 80 paramedics away from the NHS when they're needed for more important things. Let's think about it for a second here. There's more important things than football. As much as we miss it, there's more important things. But, and then you go to the Championship and League One, and you're talking about you will need hundreds of paramedics. They're busy elsewhere. They're needed elsewhere, not to sit on the side of a pitch and see a football game just in case someone may break their leg or someone may have a head injury. Nah, not happening. It's as simple as that. So I can't say no more than that, really. Listen, want to get you lot to get some questions in today. You can ask me anything. It's Friday night. Remember the film Friday? It's Friday. You got no job. And we ain't got shit to do. Seems very prominent right now, doesn't it? So, yeah, listen, get your questions in. Ask me anything. I'm going to have a can of Iron Brew. I love Iron Brew. completely and utterly rattled all of Celtic's fan base with a can of Iron Brew in the summer. Who remembers that? When we signed Tierney? Or when I released the videos? Oh, mate, that was mad. Who remembers that? I released the videos without even realizing, not once, but twice. Luckily, the second time, yeah, it was all right. I knew all along. Right, let's get through some of these questions. Of course, if you want your question to be featured on screen as well, then you get yourself one of your super chat questions in, and then you're guaranteed to have it. All right, here we go. We got a contribution from Andrew Tucker. Let's put you up on the screen there. Shout out to you. Right, let's see what some questions. Oh, you know what? I see someone here saying about Thomas Partey, and I see something yesterday. Someone went and put a thing up about Atletico, and it was like the announcement that he was staying and he'd signed a new contract. And at first I was like, no. And then I realized it was actually a link to when he signed his extension a couple of years ago. And I was like, nearly commented as well. Nearly got absolutely done like a kipper on that one. Right, let's get through some of these questions here. And I am going to be very careful with them names. That's most definitely sure. Super chat question comes in from Amar. I think I've got that one right. Apologies if I have got that wrong. Manchester City is the latest small club to break into the Big Four. Which other small club will achieve that? Leicester. That's a bit disrespectful, isn't it? Especially to Leicester. Recently won the league and everything else. Manchester City, look, we all know why they've broken into the top four and they're where they are. Money. And it's as simple as that. If it wasn't for that, then they would be nowhere near the top four. They probably wouldn't even be in the Premier League. Let's be real about it. Another super chat question comes in from Jasper. Who's your favourite current Arsenal player and why? I have two favourites. I'm greedy. Bernd Leno, first of all. Exceptional goalkeeper. Love him. And when you've had to watch some of the crap that we have over the last few years, you'll understand why we appreciate something good when it comes along. And the other, of course, is Aubameyang. All day. Do I even need to explain why I love Aubameyang? Just the way he is with the fans, he's a breath of fresh air. He's an unbelievable guy. Met him on loads of occasions, spoke to him, loads of times, face to face, social media, and he's just a genuine guy. And I love the guy. And more importantly, look at what he does on the pitch. What he does on the pitch, just phenomenal, man. World-class player, and it's as simple as that. Will he be a player for long at Arsenal? I don't know. I hope so. But we will wait and see. Another super chat question comes in from Joey. Most favorite Arsenal kit of all time. Keep safe. Listen to yourself. Keep safe as well. And that's to everybody out there. Actually, keep safe. You know what? I was asked this question on another show earlier, actually, and my favorite one growing up was probably 1988-89 season when we won the league at Anfield, and you can choose either the home or the away. They were just beautiful, beautiful kits. And I just remember being a 10-year-old boy, absolutely loving them, wearing them day in, day out, over the park, on the green, in the garden. Those kits for me, absolutely amazing kits. Amazing. Another super chat question comes in from Matto B23. Stay safe, DT. Hope all's well. United fan, but love your videos. Well, I think that question there proves that there are some nice Manchester United fans out there. They're not all bad. But yeah, listen, the same to you. And what I'm extending to everybody is just stay safe at the moment. Listen to the guidelines. Listen to, what you're being told. The one thing I will say about, my videos is that it's not exclusive to the UK. People ain't watching just from the UK. There's people all around the world watching right now. And you will obviously have, different rules in place wherever you may be. I was asking this question on a live the other day as to where you're from, in the world, and what's your country's current state. Are you in lockdown? Are you allowed out? Is there social distancing? And everywhere just seems to be in lockdown, unless you're in Belarus, because I've seen that they're still playing football in Belarus, and they had a couple of games today, actually. And I think the guy that's like their president, whatever they call him in Belarus, has said that everyone should just drink vodka and they'll be fine. Oh, my Lord. I think we're in a bit of a worse situation than vodka could help, shall we say. One of the things that I was looking at today as well with the news and stuff is that I saw images where it ain't nice seeing this, and it really kind of brought everything home. And that was the 13-year-old boy that died last week in London from the coronavirus. And he was buried today. And there was images from the cemetery and whatnot. And it's just them images, man. I'm a father, man. I've got kids, man. I've got young kids as well. I've got one son that's only a couple of years away from being 13 himself. I've got a son that's older than 13. But seeing that, and the 4 guys that were all around the coffin and lowering, him into the ground, were all wearing their protective suits and masks, and no family could say their goodbye to him. No one could be at the funeral next to the grave. His mother, everyone, they were at home in self-isolation, and they weren't allowed out, and they weren't. Listen, it beggars belief, man, just what people must be going through, and seeing that. And then all I'm seeing this week, and this is why I'm making this point now, and I want everyone to really, really take this in, is that I see people, especially in the UK, talking about how nice the weather's going to be this weekend, especially Sunday. Apparently, it's meant to be up to 20 degrees. And there's people that are talking about how they're going to go out, go down the park, go and enjoy the sun, barbecues or whatever. Let me make this very clear. If you go around your friend's house, family's house, anyone's house that's not yours, and have a social get-together, you are a fucking wanker. It's as simple as that. You are the reason why we're going to keep staying in lockdown. Okay? Think about the bigger picture, not your selfish self. Oh, I want to go out. I've been trapped in for a couple. We've all been trapped in for a couple of weeks. Do you think I like being stuck indoors? Do you think I like not going to football? Do you think I don't like seeing one of my sons because he's having to live at his mum's? I haven't seen him in a couple of weeks. All I get is a phone call. Speak to him on FaceTime. Do you know what I mean? There's people that have got to make these sacrifices to save yourself, to save others, to save the NHS. And there's some of you worrying about going and having a barbecue. You fucking idiots, man. Seriously, things like that really, really wind me up. If I went for my daily walk, for example, you're allowed to go out for your daily walk, and I went down to the local park and I see people all gathering together, having a barbecue. First thing I do, I go and lick their barbecue off. Bye-bye, see you later. What are you going to do about it? Nothing. Fucking idiots, man. It really pisses me off, that kind of stuff. And when I see things like I saw today with the 13-year-old boy being buried and stuff, that's the reality right there. 13-year-old boy, 13, not even lived his life. 13. And some of you are worried about going and get some burgers and sausages and whatnot on a barbecue. Get the fuck out of here, man. Piss me right off. Super chat question, another one from Jasper. Do you think we can win a trophy in the next few years? Do you know what? The thing is that even when we were at Arsene Wenger, we was winning trophies. During our worst period, we still won 3 FA Cups in, was it 4 years or something? So we can always win trophies. It's whether we're going to win the big trophies. That's where you want to be. It's all good getting the odd FA Cups or a Carabao Cup or something, but you've got to propel yourself to that next level. And at Arsenal, that's the next level we want to get to. We want to be winning Premier League titles again. We want to be back in the Champions League. We want to get to a Champions League final like 2006. So maybe under Mikel Arteta's reign, you know, the first trophy, an FA Cup or something, which I was hoping for this season, because how much would a boost that be for next season? Mikel Arteta comes in, wins us the FA Cup, and that would have been so nice, man. So good as a springboard to move forward. But yeah, I definitely think that we can win trophies, but we need to be consistent. Next question comes in from Alex H. Besides the score, best away trip you have been on? You know what? Recent times, I'll tell you something. When we played Chelsea away this season was unbelievable. The atmosphere in the stadium, in the away end, was like I've not witnessed in a few years. There was a togetherness. There was just a vibe where we spent so many years broken as a fan base, and there's just a divide and everything. And you're going into these away games where you're just like, we're going to lose today, aren't we? Yeah. They just felt something in that. And, you know, when we scored the goals, it was absolute limbs when we scored them goals, especially the Martinelli one. And it was just people flying over seats. I was at the front. And I remember I had my 4-year-old in front of me, and he's like standing on this barrier piece in the front row. And we scored and everyone went. And my first reaction is to put my arms around him to protect him. And I'm getting absolutely battered from behind and everyone's going. And I remember the steward has just literally grabbed my boy, took him off me because he could see that I was trying to protect him, and just put him on the side of the pitch. And then I was like, yeah, that's fine. My boy's all right. Let's go. Whoa. And it was just, mate, that was an unreal night. But yeah, the real limbs, Spurs when we won the league, Manchester United when we won the league, mate, absolute madness. Anfield 89 when it was standing. Absolute limbs, man. Interesting question comes in from Amar again. DT, would you be happy if Arsenal signed Adama Traore or Konate? You know what? With Konate, when I was mentioning Upamecano a couple of years ago, I also done a profile on Konate as well. I think the pair of them are exceptional together. My preference is Upamecano, and I think that he's more gettable given the fact that he's only got a year left on his contract. He also has a release clause, which is £55.5 million at the end of this season. So there's no bidding war. You go in, you pay the asking rate. If other clubs match it, then it's down to the player. I understand that. But you're not going to have to pay 80, 90 odd million pound for a guy that would be your centre-back mainstay for the next 10 plus years. And if you could get someone like that with Saliba, mate, we'll be absolutely laughing. In terms of Traore, I think he's done absolutely brilliant at Wolves. He's the fastest player I have ever seen in my life. Henry was fast, But Adama Traore is just taking the piss. Honestly, have you ever seen a film, not even a film, a cartoon called Roadrunner? Oh my God, this guy, it's like he's got a rocket up his arse. Like, I've watched this guy live and watched him run past, and it is frightening. I'm not even exaggerating. The speed that this guy has is like I've never seen. But what he's added to his game, especially this season, is his end product and the final delivery. And he's just phenomenal. But what would he go for? Wolves are in no pressure to sell. They're in no need to sell, shall we say. So what would he go for? You would have to pay a lot of money for him. I don't know what his contract situation is. Does anyone in the comments know what his contract situation is? How long's he got left, etc., etc.? And how much did Wolves actually pay for him as well? That's an interesting one. Because I remember when he was at, where was it? Middlesbrough, wasn't it? And knew he had the pace, but weren't too sure. But he's added something to his game massively. Next question comes in from Vegas Gunner. How long will it take to fix the wage bill mess? And is it true Oba gets a £15 million loyalty bonus if he sees out his contract? In terms of his contract and whether he gets a loyalty bonus, I honestly have no idea. I know that he's been in talks to extend his contract, but I don't know no more than that. And that's what we all know, that he has been talking with the club. How long will it take to fix the wage bill mess that we're in? It's going to take a while because we're still feeling the knock-on effects from when Wenger was in charge and Mesut Ozil got 350 grand. And we got players that are on 100 odd grand. They shouldn't be. They're not. You know what I mean? Ridiculous. The second highest paid player at Arsenal is Aubameyang. And then it's Lacazette. And then I think it's Mustafi, Xhaka, Luiz, Leno. Come on, man. You see where the problem is there, don't you? Next question comes from Leeds the Fallen. They can't see the virus, so to them, it isn't there. Yeah, look, listen, I think that's the case with a lot of people, that because they don't have the virus, they don't have anyone who's got the virus, they just seem to think that they're never going to get it. But like I said, never say never, because there's people out there that have caught the coronavirus that probably thought they were never going to get it. Yeah, you all see the horse racing at Cheltenham a few weeks ago. I said at the time, stupid. Do you see how many people were there over the course of that 4 days or so? And how many people have now come back from that Cheltenham have now got coronavirus? And they're all going, oh my God, I got coronavirus. Well, of course you got it. What'd you go there for? Idiots. Next question comes in from Robin's Music. Hello, DT. Again, you keep me entertained when I'm bored. Arsenal won the Champions League in FIFA 20. I feel very good at home. How does it feel to meet the Arsenal players? Well, first of all, thank you for the compliment and that I keep you entertained. Arsenal won the Champions League in FIFA 20. I think that's the only way we're ever going to win it at the moment. And how does it feel to meet the Arsenal players? Look, I'm in a privileged position, you know, in terms of, you know, I sometimes get access and I can see players and players know who I am. And there's players that I talk to. And yeah, there's some times when you still have that starstruck kind of feel about it. The first time I met Aubameyang, I was just like, oh my God, it's Aubameyang. Like, oh wow. I was just like, damn, it's over. And then he gave me a shirt in Singapore. And I was just like, wow. And then, yeah, the rest is history. It's just like normal chatting to him. And, you know, and the fact that I remember the day when he followed me on Instagram. And I was just like, oh, wow. Oba follows me. Like, damn, man. Bern Leno, really nice guy to talk to as well. Yeah, Socrates, believe it or not, Socrates is a nice guy as well. Like he's got that, I don't know, that impression that he's just like that grumpy guy, like moody, just don't speak to him sort of person. But he's actually not. He's actually a really nice guy. And every time I have seen him, he's always been polite, says hello. You know, and obviously he gave my shirt, his shirt, to one of my sons as well recently. So he's cool. Lacazette, depends what mood you get him in. He can be grumpy sometimes, but overall, he's a really sound guy to talk to as well. But yeah, it's normal. I suppose the only player that I've ever been completely starstruck by and just didn't know what to say, what to do, to think, and I was shaking, was when I met Thierry Henry. When I met him, look, the great man right there. When I met Thierry, oh man, look, hairs on my arm stand up thinking about it now when I met him. And it was just the most amazing feeling, just like, it's TT, man. It's Thierry. It's like, wow. And I met him at a time when he had finished playing for Arsenal. His career was over. So he had achieved everything he did. He is the great man. That's the only time I turned into some absolute mess. And I just didn't know what to do, to say, or anything. And I was just, but he's calm. He's calm, man. Shout out to Melina. Much love from Toronto, Canada. Big up yourself. Listen, shout out to everyone from Toronto, Canada. Shout out to everyone in the world and wherever you may be. Another question comes in from Liam K. Players are to take a 30% pay cut. Thoughts? Do you know what? It's pretty obvious, isn't it? But the one thing I will say is that I think that people need to get off the players' backs so much, because a lot of the players have been in the process of arranging this for quite a while, for the last few weeks. But it's not a case of just turning around and going, yeah, you know what? Take 30%, 50%, whatever off my wages. Yeah, it's right. Yeah, it's right. Just pay me half next week. Yeah, it's cool. It's not like that. You're talking about multi-million-pound contracts. And the players have got, advisors, lawyers, everyone involved. And it's quite simply what they have to do is that they have to know where that part of the money that they're giving up is going. So once that's all stipulated, sorted, re-put into another contract, and they know where that 30% is going, they know what's happening and everything, then it can go out there. Plus, also, remember this, right? There's players out there that have already taken a wage cut, but they've not advertised it. I know one that's actually taken a wage cut, and he's not advertised it because he doesn't want to advertise it. He doesn't need to. Just because he hasn't advertised it and shouted from the rooftops, look at me, I took a pay cut, doesn't mean they haven't. And there's a lot of players out there like that have taken pay cuts, but because they've not shouted about it and said, look at me, I've taken a pay cut. Yeah. Just go easy, man. Next question comes in from Joel Morris. What do you think of Bruno Fernandes, and do you think Sancho will go to United? I think that Bruno has had a brilliant start to life at Manchester United. I've seen him at first hand when he played against Arsenal last year, actually in the Europa League. And I didn't think much of him because he didn't really feature in that game. But then Manchester United were linked with him before the season started, and I thought, maybe. And then I've seen him in the Portuguese league this season. I thought, well, he's scoring some goals and getting some assists. He's got good numbers there. But the Premier League's a different level. How will he handle it? And I'll tell you something, he's handled it really well. He's done brilliant since he's been in the Premier League. So fair play to him. And Sancho, we're going to have to pay £110 million if you want him. But if he goes to Manchester United, they've got one hell of a player for the next 10 years or so, because he's an unbelievable talent. But we will wait and see what happens with that one. Next question comes in from Maya. You were meant to do a YouTube DJ set last Friday. It wasn't last Friday, actually. It was Saturday. And the reason why I didn't do it is because I was sorting out all the connections for it. Now, I don't want to just do a live stream of me DJing where the music's being played in the background and you can just kind of like hear it. I actually want to connect my cameras up to my mixers so the sound that's coming out is the actual sound. So if you're at home and you want to plug your phone or whatever you watch the video on live onto your TV, your sound system or whatever, and you actually want to play the music properly, like you're having a Saturday night out, which is the intention, you will get proper sound quality, which is why. But I didn't realize till it was too late what leads I needed. And the one lead I needed, I didn't have. I had every other lead apart from that. So it's been put off till tomorrow night. So yeah, you can watch me tomorrow night. Don't worry. Next question comes in from Jordan. If void, do you think Bolton deserve to start on -12 again? Well, listen, if the season's void, then you've got to go by last season's standing and what they do. So if they start the season again as last, then they're probably going to have to start on -12 again, to be honest with you. Whether that's fair, whether it's not fair if they get away with not doing it, that's the question you've got to ask as well. I've seen another super chat question in here. Where are you? There you are. This one comes in from Dust Bunny. Spring break pricks in Miami. Everyone wants a good time, but come on. Upper Meccano not coming if Soares ever gonna play from Kentucky, the home of horse racing. It's even out. Yeah, listen, shout out to all the American Gooners as well. And shout out to you in Kentucky. Upper Meccano, I'll hold on to that thought. I'll hold on to it. Is poor old Cedric, man. Is he ever going to play for Arsenal? He's done more on social media and sending messages out about staying at home than he has on the pitch. He hasn't even played a single minute. Poor guy. And yeah, listen, the spring break, there's another event that springs to mind. Selfish bunch of dicks. I remember seeing a video from spring break where they were like interviewing like 6 or 7 people and speaking about the coronavirus and everything and whether they're worried and all this, that, the other. And they were there just like, who cares? We can't die from it. You know, it won't affect us. If I get it, I get it. You know, and that was the stupid mentality that some people had, that they genuinely thought that they could not get the coronavirus, that because they're young, oh, I'm all right, I'm young, I won't get it. Go and tell that to the family of the 13-year-old boy that's just died. Do you know what I mean? Coronavirus doesn't have an age limit. Next question comes from Gary Brown. We need a centre-back. Gary, no, that's never gonna happen. You got to think of something a little bit more difficult that I might not clock and read out, but that one, that is really blatant, but nice try. But yeah, I do agree. We need a centre back, but not them. Ever since I got Robbie with them 2 videos, man. And yeah, listen, speaking of Robbie as well, of course, I suppose most of you will know now that his father passed away during the night. 93 years old. What a man he was as well. And yeah, he passed away peacefully. He's been ill for a while, but it doesn't make anything easier, that's for sure. And yeah, listen, Robbie knows that I'm there for him if he needs it. Same with his brother Laurie and everyone. It's a difficult time, and I think Robbie himself knows that he's got a lot of love out there. And there's a lot of people, that are there for him if he needs it. That's for sure. And his old man's going to be up there with the likes of my brother and people like that, and smiling down and just guiding, until the day we all meet again. So, big love to Robbie, man. Let's get some questions in. Harry Weller says, sell Chambers, Maitland-Niles and Socrates, then get Upamecano. The problem with selling Callum Chambers is that he's not going to be fit for quite a while because he's got his ACL injury. So, even if the season was starting again in August, he would never have been fit for that. So how are you going to sell him when he's not fit? That's the issue. Maitland-Niles, that's an interesting one. It's very evident that Mikel Arteta, has had some issues with him, shall we say. So that's an interesting one. Socrates, how much would you get for him at his age and everything else? Guendouzi might be one, given the fact that I feel that, if he doesn't sort his attitude out, Mikel Arteta could push him out of the door because, we all heard that there was attitude problems when they were out in Dubai. And the next league game after we came back, Mikel Arteta had, banished him from the squad as punishment. Mikel Arteta seems like that kind of manager, that are very, very, very strict disciplinarian. And, you'll get a chance. But if you ruin that chance, then you're in a bit of trouble, that's for sure. So that would be interesting, because if we did sell someone like that, you would get a hell of a lot of money. Massive shout out to Shokdran Maldini. Thank you for the contribution. Regular on the show. I still love his name, man. It's just the best. Shokdran Maldini. Hi, DT. Just wanted to take time to say thank you for all the incredible content going out right now. If you were to sign any Arsenal Academy player, who would it be? I think the 18-year-old Torres is good. Academy player. Do you know what? Apart from the Arsenal Academy, I haven't seen a lot of academy players. There's the young lad at Birmingham, and I know he's not an academy player. It's just the fact that he's 16 years old, isn't he? 16 or 17. Well, I reference him. That looks like, either Manchester United or even Dortmund might be getting. I can't think of many academy players, I'm not really paying too much attention to academy football at other clubs. We've certainly got some serious talent. Balogun at Arsenal. Oh, mate, he is prolific. And if he can break towards the first team and do what he does at under 23 levels and under 18s and whatnot, then he could be someone, because, that's a name that I've most definitely kept an eye on. Recently had an injury as well, came back from that, and he just scores for fun. He looks like one of those players, like, what's the best way of describing him? Like an Ian Wright in terms of his finishing. He's just scores goals, just loves scoring goals. No matter where you put him in the box, he'll put the ball in the net. And that's what he looks like. But obviously, it's a big step from academy to first team. But he's going the right way about it. I mean, he could be the next one, like a Saka, etc. From Arsenal, I'll have to say him. And then, do you know what? Actually, there is a young lad. Who's that young lad that broke onto the scene at Celtic? 16, and he's like about 5 foot, tiny little thing. And I watched him playing a game in Celtic's first team, and I think it was his debut. And he was flying past people. I was like, what the hell's going on here? Who's this kid? He's like 5 foot, smaller than Torreira, 16. He's a player, but I can't think of his name at all. People say in the comment section, Dembele, that's it. Yeah, he's seriously, man, 16. That is a talent. That's a talent. You know what I mean? He's like that kind of talent there. That's just like a freak of nature more than anything. That's yeah, that one. That's wow. Yeah, he was something since I've seen him. I don't know how he's actually been getting on. Any Celtic fans in the chat or know exactly all about him? Is he, back in the academy? Is he still getting in and around the first team, or what's the current situation with him? Because I haven't seen a lot or know a lot about what's going on in Scottish football. So yeah, that'd be interesting to see how he's doing. Great question here. How does it feel that DTFC have won more trophies than Tottenham? There's your answer. See people saying that he's in the under 23s. Who do you think is the best side outside the top 6? Well, the big 6, shall we say? Who do you think the best team? Well, if you're going to include the big 6 as being, your Man City, Liverpool, United, Arsenal, Chelsea, and that shower of shite down the road. Despite Sheffield United having a good season, I'd probably say Wolves, to be honest. I think Wolves are a brilliant side. Brilliant side. And with the likes of Jimenez and that, such a good player, man. I wouldn't mind him at Arsenal myself. But yeah, that would be Wolves' biggest issue, is that with all these players that you see playing so well and doing so well, how long before somebody goes, yeah, I'll have you, and yeah, I'll have you. That's the thing. The likes of Jimenez, the likes of Traore, and if they lose those players, how do they replace them? They've got a great manager. That's for sure. I see some shouts here for Leicester. Yeah, look, listen, Leicester won the league, the other season, and they're having a good season this year. But for me, I just like Wolves. I really like Wolves. I really like the way that they play. The fact that they always seem to turn up against the top 6 sides as well, the big 6 sides. I think their record is right up there with everybody's in terms of beating the top 6 sides. I think they've beaten everyone at Molineux anyway. How did you end up becoming friends with Goldbridge? Listen, life is too short. If this current situation we're all in doesn't show you that life is too short, then you need to bury the hatchet sometimes. He beat me on the football pitch that time, and they beat us that day, but then we got our revenge by slapping them 7-0. So yeah, all's fair. Question comes in from the Blind Gooner. How are you doing, mate? Would you take Griezmann at Arsenal? Yeah, you know what? I've been asked this question as well. It's a very interesting one. Looks like his time might be up at Barcelona. Maybe. Definitely talented. Definite talent. And is that a player that we could bring in if Oba goes? The best I've seen Griezmann is when he has that big striker next to him, the little and large combination, how he's worked with France and stuff. And even, when he was at Atletico and you had the likes of Costa there and everything, I'm not sure. For the kind of money, I just want to keep Aubameyang. Next question comes from COD Playlist Star. I wonder who we're going to get for free. Yeah, you just know that Arsenal are going to sign someone for free. But look, who knows? Who knows? It might not be a bad one. You know, not every signing has to be expensive. I remember when we signed Martinelli before the season started, and everyone was like, "Who's this kid?" Well, you all know who the kid is now, don't you? So yeah, you don't always have to. Next question comes in from Stephen. Young, old, we all need to do what's advised to protect each other. Best wishes to Robbie, in the same boat as you, DT. Isolated for 12 weeks as I have liver disease, had 6 transplants and no spleen. Your best goalkeeper. Wow. Listen, Stephen, first and foremost, man, stay safe. And I hope that you're, dealing with your current situation. 6 transplants. Wow, man. Fair play to you. That's serious, man. And I'll just send you my best wishes, man. Damn, that's mad. But yeah, 12 weeks isolation, man. We've got to ride it together. We've got to go and do that. Let's get through it the best way we can. And your best goalkeeper, in terms of altogether, probably looking at David Seaman. I love David Seaman. I thought he was absolutely superb as a goalkeeper. Safe hands, and that's why he had that nickname, Safe Hands. So from an Arsenal perspective, it would have to be David Seaman. I also like Jens Lehmann. I really did. The Nutty German, his nickname was. He was an absolute lunatic. Just some of the things that he used to do and stuff. But he was the goalkeeper for the Invincibles, so you can't ever forget that. That's for sure. Another question, Shopjam Maldini, on the topic of academy players. For me, the best I've seen is the 16-year-old. Yeah, you tried it. You tried it. Absolutely no chance. Nah. I looked at that first and I went, what? Hold on a minute. Nah. I'm not having that. I'm not having that. Wait there. I'm definitely not having that. Hold on a minute. Yep. There's definitely no one by that name at Leeds United. You ain't even getting away with that one. Nice try, though. A nice try, though. I'll give you that one. Actually tried it. Fully tried it. Let's have a look at this. I can't believe you tried that one. Yes, I see you, Max. Don't worry. I see you there. I read out your comment. I didn't say your name. My apologies. Shout out to Max. Do you know what? This question here, well, not even a question, something that someone said. Stu, he's saying that you got done with one the other day and you gave a full scouting report. No, I didn't, actually. Because if you watch the video, I immediately, when I heard that name, was thinking, who the hell is this guy? And I immediately went straight on to who I wanted as a centre-back, which was Upamecano. And I said, my focus is on Upamecano, absolutely nobody else. So I never gave no scouting report. I never spoke about anybody else. And I never spoke about this person like I know them. I spoke about Upamecano. Hope that answers that. This is an interesting question. Should Arsenal buy Daniel Malin? You know what? I'm so annoyed that we sold him in the first place, man. So annoyed. Do you know what? There was a couple of years or so ago, I was at Arsenal's training ground and I was playing a match there. And there was a load of the academy boys there and everything else. And like Malin, man, he's so good. He was so good. And he was the one where I was thinking, boy, he could really burst onto the scene and do something. And then we sold him. And now they're talking 50, 60 million pounds to try and buy him back. Mate, Madness. This one here. I'll actually show this one. Arsenal Dude 21. Will you make a DTFC YouTube account? We already have a DTFC YouTube account. It's if you go to right, let me just get this for you. Until you get a certain amount of subscribers, you can't pick your actual URL. So like if you want my YouTube channel, you just have to put in Mr. DT. But for me to get my DTFC one and what I need and everything, or will have and whatever, I need to get the certain amount. But hold on a minute. If I go to my channel, if you go to my channel, and at the very top, if you go to channels, go into there, and you will find DTFC. And look, there we are, DTFC. That's where you need to go to. So all of you that are watching right now, do me a favor, go and subscribe to DTFC. There's a welcome video in there, just an introduction of what we're doing and we're planning, because obviously we're going into non-league next season, first steps of, going up the ladder and everything else. And we're really looking forward to that. Exciting times ahead. Obviously, we don't know when the season's going to start and what the situation is and whatnot at the moment, but we're already planning for next season. So the team that we've already got are all going to be part of next season already. And then we're obviously going to be adding to that. And then we're also going to be doing some trials. We were hoping to do them this month, but obviously we can't do them and everything else. A lot of people, hundreds and hundreds of people have applied for the trials, and we will be holding those trials before the season starts to bring in new players to join part of DTFC. So yeah, that would be a big step anyway. But it's in terms of that, I don't know when the trials are, because I don't know when we're allowed out. As soon as I know, and as soon as I know when the season starts and when pre-season's scheduled and whatnot, then I can arrange trials, and then we can get them in and involved for the pre-season going into the new season next year. So let's have a look. Question comes in from Joshua Matthew. Hi DT, amazing work with consistently giving us awesome content. Your inspiration for starting your channel. If possible, a brief summary of the implications, I believe that will be decisions, the challenges faced, etc., to get where you are. You know what it was? I'm actually the first person that was on AFTV that started a YouTube channel. Started years ago now. Years ago. I've been on AFTV for like 5 years, something like that, 5-6 years. And I think within the first year, I started a YouTube channel. And the reason why was because I was doing my interviews and stuff on AFTV. And I wasn't, where I am now in terms of everyone knowing who I am and had viral videos, etc. I had a bit of a little platform. And I was like, you know what? I want to have my own channel to express more of my views, because you get 4 or 5 minutes on AFTV and that's it. And I was like, I want my own platform to just express even more, so I can talk about some things that I might not get a chance to talk about after the game, or, to just express and meet other Arsenal fans and stuff. And that's where it started out. And yeah, the rest is history. It just blew up from there. And now what we know, nearly 250,000 subscribers. And everyone seems to have a YouTube channel now. But yeah, I was the first one anyway. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Next question. I see one coming in. Trying to keep up with all these. Whoo. Here we go. Another question comes in from Stephen. Do you think Henderson's idea of donating some of their wages to the NHS is a better way than doing a pay cut and trusting the clubs to do it? Well, the thing is, I think that that's in addition to them taking their pay cuts and stuff. But what I will say is that it's a great idea, and what Jordan Henderson's doing is absolutely brilliant, and you've got to commend him for that. But what I think's happening, and I was explaining this earlier on, is that players can't just go, yeah, I'll have a pay cut, cut my salary in half and whatever. There's lawyers and all kinds of people involved, and that's why it's not as clear cut, as just taking a pay cut. There's a lot involved in it, but I think that Jordan Henderson thing is on top of pay cuts and everything else as well. I think that's just a separate thing he's decided that he wants to do. Oh, that's an interesting question from Ashley Toomey, and he says Hudson-Odoi or Greenwood. Hudson-Odoi is kind of gone backwards a little bit, and I think maybe the injury kind of stopped him in his tracks a bit. Greenwood, I think he's had a decent season, first real breakthrough season at Manchester United. But I was expecting a little bit more from Hudson-Odoi. When I watched him in pre-season a couple of years ago in Ireland, and they played against Arsenal, and he tore Bella into pieces that day. And I thought, wow, who's this kid? He is phenomenal. But yeah, maybe the injury and everything else has kind of just stopped him in his tracks a little bit. But from what I've seen, I will say Callum Hudson-Odoi, because I've seen more of him. And I think he's a little bit further ahead of Greenwood in terms of his development. But there's no doubt in, Greenwood's talent, that's for sure. You know what? That's an interesting one. Ndidi or Partey. And you know what? Ndidi, man, he's just been brilliant, man. But would you get him? Would we be able to get him? What kind of figure will they be, charging for Ndidi? I'm just not too sure. I think the Partey situation, again, it's like Upper Meccano, because there's contract running down and everything else. It could be an easier one to get sorted out. Do we have the best youth setup in England? We have one of the best. Chelsea had a good youth setup, but then I think they ended up sending about 345,000 of their youth players out to Vitesse Arnhem. Oh, mate, it's going to be a long while before that happens with DTFC yet, before we're reaching FA Cup finals and stuff. We've got to try and get through the preliminary rounds of the FA Cup and everything else and start doing all that kind of stuff. Let's have a look at this question coming from Stephen. Arsenal continuing to pay their staff compared to what Levy's done to Spurs shows Arsenal's class. North London is red. Well, if you ever needed an indication as to the difference in class, then look no further, because we're still paying our staff. We've donated, to charities, to, hospices and all kinds of things. There was something on the website about all the initiatives that Arsenal are giving to and everything else. And I think that they were even, one of the things that they were doing was all the Arsenal, like club vehicles. They have minibuses, coaches, cars, all kinds of stuff that are associated with the actual club. They were letting those be used by, the services that need them, and NHS and everything else. And then there's Daniel Levy, the guy that's got a £4 million bonus on top of his £3 million a year salary just for completing their shitty stadium. Parasite, mate. Parasite. Says everything you need to know about him. Bald-headed prick. But, don't even get me started, man. Pay tax. You think I'm going out there and paying the tax that I pay? and it's to go to you to pay your staff because you can't pay them yourself. Nah, mate. Nah, no, you can suck that, mate. Absolutely no chance. No. No, you think I'm paying my taxes to that? Nah. Put your hand in your own pocket and go and pay your staff. Do the right thing. Go and look after them properly. Don't go sponging off the government's funds and everything else. It was never intended for companies like professional football clubs in the first place. Prats. Question here from Joe Walsh: Mane or Salah? And would you take Ox back if he became available? You know what? It would have to be Mane for me. I love Mane. I think he is one hell of a player. He is serious, man. And when you think, what did Liverpool pay for him from Southampton? What a player. He's my player of the year. I think that he's more important to Liverpool than Firmino, Salah, all of them. And would I take Ox back? It would be very interesting to see Ox under Mikel Arteta. Interesting one. Interesting. Kind of been up and down with Liverpool. Obviously had a serious injury and everything else. I've got a lot of time for Ox as a person. But I'm not too sure that one would ever happen. Will you be earning a salary as DTFC manager? Yeah, I'll be paying myself. I own the club. I run everything. So I'll pay myself. You know what I mean? I'll give myself a bonus if we win the league. Yeah. We ain't got to them levels yet. But yeah, of course, if there's a very rich benefactor out there that wants to jump on board and get involved with the club, then you're more than welcome to hit me up and we can have a conversation. Someone's actually started up a YouTube page called Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and it's saying, "Hi DT, I'm off to Barcelona." Oh, I know we're all stuck indoors, and I know you're probably bored, but come on, man. Honestly, that's an interesting question. Where would Celtic finish in the Premier League? I don't think Celtic get near the top four. Maybe after a few years they might. But it's a little bit different, the Premier League. You know, you're not going to be playing some of the rubbish that they play week in, week out in the Scottish League, with all due respect. Thing about the Premier League is that you can play the team that are bottom of the league and they can easily turn you over. You play the team that are bottom of the league in the Scottish League, you're normally beating them 5 or 6-0. I'll probably say like they could go towards the top 6. I don't think they'll break the top 4. Question here from Anne. I am a 13-year-old and I have ADHD and autism. So staying indoors is hard for me. Stay safe. Would you take Serge Gnabry back? Well, first and foremost, listen, speak to your parents. Always talk to someone. Whoever's in your household, if you've got brothers, sisters, anyone, it's a difficult time. Obviously at DTFC, we have a guy that supports us by the name of James. He's pretty well known now. And, you know, he suffers from autism and disabilities and whatnot. And, you know, if you'd want to look and speak to someone that can point you in the right direction and help you and, you know, keep a smile on your face and everything, and how to deal with everyday life in this tough situation, then go over and see him, because the guy's an inspiration, an absolute inspiration, what he does and the things that he does for, you know, mental health, for autism, for disability in general and everything else is just phenomenal. And to answer the question of Serge Gnabry, of course, I would take him back. I see him, what was it, yesterday or something? I see the images of him wearing this season's away shirt. And I was just like, oh, no, Serge, what are you doing, man? You're killing me. But I get this little tiny little inkling that there's unfinished business at Arsenal with Serge. And, you know, as long as we don't buy him back when he's 34 and finished, there's still time. There's still time. There's still time. Shout out to Simon. Hi, DT. Loving the live chat, by the way. Keep it going. Being a Leicester City fan, which one player would you have at Arsenal? Only one. It'd have to be Ndidi, wouldn't it? It'd have to be. We were speaking about him earlier. And like I said, he is just a phenomenal player, man. And Jamie Vardy, not when you've got Aubameyang. Yeah, I'd say Ndidi. To be honest with you, I would say Ndidi. I've just seen my phone as well, and I've just seen so many notifications. I haven't turned my notifications off on the DTFC YouTube channel, and my phone is just going mad with everyone that's subscribing since I've been speaking about it. So listen, first and foremost, shout out to all of you that have subscribed. It's really appreciated. And but yeah, I need to learn to take the notifications off because it's just blasting up my phone. So yeah, but anyone that's only just joined, there you go. That is the DTFC YouTube channel. So make sure you get over to it. If you go onto mine, go into channels, you can find it there. Or if you go on my socials, on my Instagram or anything, it's in the bio. So you'll be able to find it very, very easily. But yeah, to answer your question, it'd have to be Ndidi, wouldn't it? Let's have a look at some of these quickly. Got to make sure I get all these in. I'm so cautious when I watch some of these. Like, look, Shock Dram Maldini. You crack me up, man. You crack me up. I love having you in the chat room. See, and there's a reason why I never said the first name, and you thought that was going to get me, and I just went Torres. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I'm being very cautious. Some of you are so bored trying to get that little sound bite, that little piece. Question comes in from Shyam. Titi Rodriguez under Arteta, thoughts on Ceballos. Titi worries about his injury and everything else. So I'm like I said, I'm solely focused on centre back of Upamecano, me personally. And Ceballos, it's just not really worked out for him. I think that he's done well since he's, come into the side under Arteta in recent weeks. But is that enough? Probably not, to be quite honest with you. Very hit and miss. And I would like to have seen more. Question comes in from Hemal. Hi, DT. Have you heard a rumour that there was something about VAR being scrapped when the Premier League does come back due to the coronavirus? Stay safe. Firstly, yes, stay safe to yourself. And no, I have not heard this rumour. I don't know if they're going to scrap VAR. I can't see him doing it. I can't see them scrapping VAR. Not when they, spent so long getting it in. Nah, not yet. Not yet anyway. They're gonna, stick with that and hope it works, that's for sure. Another question comes in from Abdus. Chowdhury, and he says, do you think Suarez had the best individual season, or is it Salah or Henry? For me, it was Thierry Henry because he got over 20 goals and over 20 assists in one season. Don't get me wrong, the season that Salah had a couple of years ago and the season that Luis Suarez had was phenomenal. But maybe I'm being biased, but I just think Thierry Henry, that season when he got 20 goals and 20 odd assists, just phenomenal, man. That season was. I did see a funny question down here a minute ago. There we go. And one of the regulars as well, Wayne Spooney. What do you think of Spurs' badge? It's a chicken on a beach ball. That's what it is. You know, you look at the clubs. You look at, Manchester United. You've got a devil. You've got Arsenal with a cannon. You've got Chelsea, which is a lion. And then you've got Tottenham, which is a chicken on a beach ball. Do I need to say any more? Shit. Let's have a look at this one. How long have we been on? Jeez. Over an hour and 10 minutes. So we get through a couple more. Next question. Comes from Dust Bunny. Parasite correct, then why even own a football club? Ashley, SMH, Celtic, are they better than Villa? No. Well, listen, Mike Ashley obviously thought that he could be an owner and make a load of money. That's what his preferred, reasoning why he bought Newcastle. He probably thought it was the easy way of making money. It was fashionable back then as well to buy football clubs. That was the big thing. But I'll tell you something, Newcastle need to hurry up and get rid of him, man, because he's just don't like him at all. Question from Shotran again. Do you think Troops should do one of his vlogs in a full kit? He still owes me a forfeit. And I hope you see this as well, Troops, because you still owe me a forfeit after you lost the cooking competition and you have to wear a full kit. Now, because there's no games, maybe you do need to walk around your house in a full kit. I'm talking shirt, shorts, socks, shin pads, Astro boots, the works. Wear a full kit for the day. Or when the season starts again and we get going and play football, I'm going to constantly bug you on social media so everyone constantly mentions it until you do it. You've got to do your forfeit, man. It's only fair, isn't it? What does everyone else think? I think you should do it, don't it? Question from Warren Williamson. DT, I was waiting last week to see if you was going to DJ live on YouTube. I explained this one earlier on. I was missing one of the leads to get it all connected up. So that's why I never came on and done it live. But there will be a set tomorrow. I should have everything all sorted out and ready for that. So, we'll have a bit of a party. Be fun. Couple more questions and then I am out of here. Question comes from LFC Aaron. Hi, Mr. DT. How do you find Will Smith in the snow? You look for Fresh Prince. For fuck's sake. Oh, honestly. Where'd you get that out of? A cracker? My words, unbelievable. But yeah, look, listen, for everyone, it's been hour and 15 minutes. That's gone quick, man. I can't believe that. Fresh Prince. Oh, mate, that's so bad. Question comes in from Shikar. Hope I pronounced that right. Would you take Lallana or Arsenal on a free? Nah, I think he's had injuries as well. That's not really what I want to see at Arsenal. It doesn't excite me in any way, shape, or form. Maybe the free transfer will excite the Arsenal hierarchy, but it don't excite me in any way, shape, or form. Nah. Yes, Stephen, we only need one song. What do we think of Tottenham? Shit. We all know the words to it. We know the rest. So yeah, look, listen, I want to send a massive shout out to everyone that's locked in tonight. We've been going for 4 hours and 15 minutes. Long time, man. Friday night. There's not much else to do at the moment, is it? So yeah, listen. You know what? Let me put this one up. Question from Aben. Why is Arsenal bootleg United and Liverpool? Well, look, listen, the 3 biggest clubs in England is Manchester United, Liverpool, and Arsenal. So it could be worse. We could be below that, and we could be Spurs. So it's not too bad, is it? Yeah, listen, I want to thank everyone that's locked in. I want to thank everybody that's gone over to the DTFC YouTube channel and subscribed and everything. There's going to be loads of stuff going on over there. Obviously, things are a little slower at the moment because there's no football and everything else, but we're going to be doing some compilations, putting stuff on. There will be a DJ set tomorrow. The next live video is Sunday evening. And this one's going to be an interesting one because I'm joined by 5 DTFC players. There's going to be 6 of us in the room. Not this room. They're not with me or anything like that. Social distancing. They're going to be in their own rooms, but we're going to be in our own individual boxes, should we say. And what will happen is we'll be going live. We'll be talking about DTFC, Blood Brothers, plans for the future, what's going on. Chance for you to get to know some of the players as well at first hand and what they're about, etc. And then also we're going to open up the floor to you guys to ask the questions. If you want to ask any of the players anything, I'm not going to reveal who's coming into the chat with me at the moment. But yeah, that will be Sunday around 6 or 7 o'clock. I'll advertise it on Sunday. So yeah, I see a question just coming here, which I am going to answer very quickly. Question comes in from Ilas. I think I got that one right. Apologies if I haven't. He says, DT, I've had enough of this lockdown. Listen, we've all had enough. We all want to go out. It's Saturday night. Not Saturday night. It's Friday. Look, I'm even losing track of my days and stuff. But it's Friday. I would like to, be going to football tomorrow. The international break should be over and we should be playing again. I think we should be playing Norwich this weekend. So, I should be going to the Emirates to watch Arsenal. And then tomorrow night I should be DJing in a club and, entertaining hundreds of people and having a great time and then going out with the family on Sunday and my kids and everything else, man. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, we have to do this. We have to abide by it. And then we can go and enjoy all those things at a later date. Right now, this is what we have to do. It's not ideal. It's not what we want. But it's what we have to do to save our own lives, to save other people's lives, and to help save the NHS. And it's as simple as that. So, yeah, I can't say no more. So yeah, listen, like I said, video tomorrow. There will be the live feed again on Sunday. And yeah, listen, thank you to every single one of you that's locked in. And I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, subscribe to the DTFC YouTube channel as well. And yeah, I'll see you lot tomorrow. I'm out of here.